new battleground. Once again, it's in the Infernal Shrines.
All right.
Oh, yes.
So the Infernal Shrines, you guys are not familiar. It's a 3-lane map, first of all, and there are 3 shrines that appear just above each of those lanes. When they are activated, we'll see minions pop up. You need to take 30 of them down. You have to get the last hit on those minions. If you are able to accomplish that task, then you will summon a Punisher. It is indeed a Punisher at that, and it will go after the heroes. It will hop over walls and stun. Quite scary, so you will see the teams cowering in fear from those Punishers.
Not only are they Punishers, there are 3 different variations. You have the Arcane, the Frozen, and the Mortar, and they're all different in how you actually deal with them, so they can be very, very deadly. You definitely want them on your side of the team whenever you're playing this match.
And you really don't want to get a lot of melee because it makes it very difficult to defend those, but you also need to have a lot of wave clear to make sure that you can take out those shrines as fast as possible. But we've already started the draft. We have Leoric and Uther being banned here. Complexity actually banning Uther, realizing the power. That's their favorite support. So the ban here means there's no way they want to let Relics play him.
All right, so Relics taking out that Leoric, like you mentioned, Gilly, and we really want to highlight this, how important Leoric is on this battleground because of that wave clear, and being able to take out those minions in a single strike with the Skeleton Blow is a very, very nice asset to have. Complexity grabs that Jaina. They're showing they're very strong on this hero, but Relics battling back with the Johanna. Also, if you grab that Knight Takes Pawn talent at level 1, can clear out the minions very quickly as well.
Yeah, Complexity on their side, they had, looks like Garazine will be picked up once again, so the Relics are going to adjust their strategy here and try to get something to work out for them. Complexity on their first pick, they most likely were thinking about either Zeratul or Jaina. Which one do we pick here? Jaina's a little bit of an easier pickup here. You're able to get the damage in. You don't have to you can actually fight if you need to around the shrines. But with Zeratul being open on the second wave coming back to Complexity, you have to wonder, are they going to take it?
I really think Jaximus really loves to play that hero, but I like the Relics pickup still of Kharazim here because Complexity also have been trying out the Kharazim a little bit. So if Relics, if that's they're saying we can't have Uther, we definitely want to have Kharazim here. I like that they're still willing to run it and think that they can adapt their strategy just to be able to take out Complexity with him still.
Complexity firing back with one of their favorite warriors. It is going to be the Arthas in this case. And right there, those 2 heroes alone make for a great roam squad. And then you're going to add Tyrande into it, a hero that Complexity is very fluent in running those types of rotations throughout. So they're going to really take the aggressive style. They say, all right, we've kind of given up a little bit on the wave clear, having the Leoric already banned out. The Johanna's been picked up. They say, we're just going to be so aggressive when those objectives pop up. Bully them off of it, take takedowns, and then move back and take the wave clear.
The best part about Complexity having Tyrande is they just seem to understand or have the concept of, if we can control the map, we can beat the Relics. And they've been doing such a good job with Sentinel scouting certain areas, grabbing certain important map objectives, and really holding it down. Does Tyrande fall off a little bit on this battleground? I think so, but there still are mercenary camps that you have to keep an eye on and really keep a tempo on how Relics are trying to fight back in terms of map control.
Well, the next drafts have come in, and a very interesting one coming in from Relics is they're going to ban Raynor. So they see the Tyrande, and they're like, you cannot have the Hyperion on top of that. That was too much to deal with. It's a really good, I guess, a counter pick, or counter ban there, I should say. Kael'thas going to be the ban for Complexity.
So Kael'thas being taken out, while a strong hero, Relics really haven't shown that they want to pick it that much, but Vala, we know this is a comfort pick. I wonder why Complexity went for that, with the exception of the fact that the wave clear is good, especially past level 13 with that chain bomb.
To be fair, in the North American regional, a lot of players don't think that, or a lot of teams don't think that Vala is actually that good of a hero compared to other ones, right? I think she's pretty right in the middle, 50%, and they can deal with her pretty well if they have good positioning. So I believe there's like, you know what, Relics, you can have that hero, no big deal. We'll deal with other type of strategies that you're trying to throw our way.
Yeah, getting rid of the wave clear for one, but also if Complexity wanted to go for another frontline hero, then the more melees that you get, the more difficult Kael'thas can be with that chain bomb to try to deal with. Relic's going to grab the Zeratul. It's so interesting, so late in the draft, but we will still have the Dark Pellet, this time on the side of Relics.
I wonder if they are continuing to go with the 7-sided strike. Maybe you can make an argument for the Divine Palm here if Zeratul finds himself in a bit of trouble. And already they've set themselves up to not really pick a super heavy warrior lineup like we have seen out of them in the past.
Complexity going to have a couple of picks here, and you have to wonder what they're going to go with. Malfurion is a great choice against Zeratul. Zeratul will bring in that burst damage, but he can't really follow up a lot of kills without the support of his team. So Malfurion, if he stays on top of the healing, keep people topped off in terms of their health pools, they won't have a problem dealing with Zeratul. And plus, that Tranquility is so helpful around the shrines.
Now, what will their last pickup be? Could be another warrior. It will be another warrior. It's going to be Rexxar. And don't forget Nisha.
That's right, how could I? Yes, those two are an excellent pair, and we saw a little bit of the play yesterday. I even think it was from Complexity that they ran it to great effect. Some great showings there. Really, really fun hero, and it's just the sort of the different warrior style, right? It's a ranged warrior, and you have Misha doing a lot of the heavy lifting, if you will, getting those stuns, getting in there, and Rexar sitting in the back healing with those ranged attacks. So a very different approach, works out well to throw a lot of damage down, and continue this aggressive style that they have with Tyrande. Arthas, Jaina can set up so many different ways for that. I'd be scared if I were Relics right now.
Yeah, Misha charge into a Tyrande Alana Bear is amazing. Sonya, though, following up for the fit pick here for Relics. Will we get the lead? Oh, we can see the amazing Wrath. Wrath can get rid of Misha so quickly. So you can move forward and get towards that Arthas and the rest of the heroes. So Relics finishing up their composition. Both teams looking very great here. I don't know if there's one side that I can pick. Gilly, who do you pick here?
Ooh, it's tough, but I really want a game number 3, so I'm going to be rooting for Relics here. I'm changing sides just for a bit.
Yeah, I always have to root for Sonya, so that's, don't even ask me. It's just going to be Sonya every time. And the interesting thing about it is, too, Arthas, no stuns in this warrior. Rexar, if they're able to stay out of the way of Misha with Sonya and the Wrath of the Berserker, like you guys were mentioning, it's basically going down to Lunar Flare, a skill shot that can be easily avoided. So
absolutely,
there's definitely, if the Sonya players are good, which we know in the case of Relics, that is going to be the case, I think we have a good chance for Sonya to really get in that back line and do a massive amount of damage.
All right, guys, game number 2 coming at you. Relics versus Complexity. Let's go into the game. Okay, here we are. Relics potentially their last game of the entire tournament if they can't pull out a win here. Here on the far left corner, Relizer, Trinity, Murd, Zeiss, and then of course Revenant ready to brawl it out against Complexity.
Their opponents in the red looking to tie out the series right here and move on to the final 4 teams. We have Jaximus playing Rexar, Hans once again on Tyrande, Caterpillar playing Arthas, Trumbull playing Jaina, and Blinks will be on Malfurion, making the team of Complexity.
All right, Misha and her companion Rexar start moving towards the middle of the map here. Beautiful green skin, by the way, looking great there, Jaximus. Gonna try and grab the control up here in the top left corner, and the number 1 talent actually grabbed here for Rexar is going to be the health regeneration talent there. So he's gonna be looking around, trying to grab as many regen globes if possible to keep Rexar nice and healthy and having a strong regen base.
And it looks like we have Malfurion up top, so we might not see Complexity be as aggressive here in the mid since all of Relics are there, but they'll be looking to try to pick somebody up here. Misha going to be condemned in and immediately start going on the chase there, but once again, we're just going to see the teams going for trying to clear out the mid as quickly as possible. We already see Relics starting to rotate around and get into the lane so that they're not missing up any of the soak.
So I'm going to watch Jaximus here because he's been talking about how strong he's been working on Rexar a lot, and I've been hearing from Coach Rojar that he actually has amazing control when it comes down to actually playing that hero. So I'm all about learning and seeing what exactly you can pull off Misha whenever you're having that pet AI kind of playing around, how you can make it work better for you and your team.
Yeah, you mentioned the pet AI, and it's not like Lost Vikings here. It's not where you just click on Misha and then control where she goes while at the same time with Rexar. It is the pet AI, and so that does bring a different level of skill into it. And Jaximus, like you mentioned, has been working really hard here, and I'm also just as anxious to see how he does with it.
And throughout the game, Jaximus will have to be careful of Zeratul. If Rexar is taken down, Misha goes down as well. And the top lane, we have a little bit of aggression here from Trumbo. Interesting to see a Jaina going for the gank, but hey, you gotta love seeing aggressive play from anyone here. In the middle lane, though, they're already setting up for the shrines. They grab this Punisher. We do only have one for here for Relics. We're gonna wait until everyone can move on down to grab these minions.
And we see, it looks like Relics might be trying to deny Malfurion from coming down and joining the rest of the team a little bit, as the positioning of them are kind of right in between there. And they're actually waiting for it. Blink's going to get caught out here, and Tangling Root's trying to stop them. Will they be able to catch him in time? He does get the heal back up. A great save there for Complexity.
Blink's just barely surviving there with a heal on himself. The heal over time just enough. He will have to go back and tap well. And you're going to see the Relics try to grab as much as they can, but Malfurion will be the number 1 focus here for the Relics. You take out that healer, you really break down this comp. Jaximus moving in. Misha trying to grab a grab here on Mir. Can he get the Misha charm? We do have one takedown as Jaina falls for Complexity, and the members of Complexity will have to pull back, potentially poke, and wait till Jaina shows up.
And in that amount of time, Relics have plenty of time and do have that Night Takes Pawn talent, so they're quickly taking out the minions here. This is the Arcane Punisher too, so this thing's going to do a lot of damage and be very scary to whatever team has to defend versus it.
Misha coming in with the Misha charge, taking out Mir, slowing him down for a little bit there. We do have a lot of flanking going on between Cattle and Trumbull, trying to get in there and grab some aggression if possible. Mir still low on HP, but the Relics doing a great job of getting as many minutes as possible. They're currently at 27, but Complexity starting to fight back. Trumbull trying to hold down that bottom area. Zeratul moving on in. Trinity gets low on HP. Can't they grab the actual arcane. It's low, and it looks like Complexity somehow, some way, is actually going to get the Punisher to move for them.
And it's actually a frozen one, so I was wrong. He will be trying to freeze up Relics, but man, a really fantastic job by Complexity there. They were down in the amount of minions that they had taken out, but such good zoning, forcing Relics to really like sacrifice themselves to try to get it, and they didn't even get it on top of that as they lost Sonya.
So what's interesting to me with the Arcane is how teams are utilizing it to their advantage. We're starting to see a lot of 3 pushes wherever the Punisher is at one member in flame. We have Rex on the bottom, we have Malfurion in top. The first Punisher gets killed off pretty quickly if you do some great baiting like Relics just did there. So overall, walls were taken down. That's a great win for Complexity because they're ahead in experience. But overall, Relics are still in this game. They just need to try and maybe get a couple takedowns and get to level 10 as soon as possible.
Now immediately after a Punisher, teams typically like to go and start grabbing Merc Camp, so that's why we saw Complexity rotating around already, looking to see if Relics were working on this Fallen Shaman camp. But they're just now, actually, it's Complexity here who is grabbing the Kagura on the side of Relics camp. So realizing that it wasn't quite there, now they see it here. They even could rotate up as it's not going down very quickly.
Yeah, that's one of the strengths here of having, again, Tyrande on the map. You're able to send Sentinels in the top left corner. We saw them look for Vala and Kerosene. As soon as they saw 2 members in the top lane, they went ham on that mercenary camp. They grabbed it and got it pushing. You're right. The map control is so important here for Complexity, and right now they're pulling it off well in the early game. Relics, however, need to get a little bit aggressive with the rotations, in my opinion. Start finding out where their opponents are at. They see only 3 people on the map. You need to look where the other 2 are. Start getting a little aggressive with whatever you can. Have Joanna check out a bush. Zeratul needs to start also rotating more.
Absolutely, and make sure they're not missing out on the lane. So I think Complexity has been very good in that aspect. And while we have it 1-1, we do have the fact that with the 2 tower takedowns for Complexity, as well as, Trouble's in trouble here, but their lane soak has been helping them so far. But this might be a chance for Relics to get back in a little bit in experience. Yes, they will be able to get the takedown on Jaina.
Quick pick down, and that's the rotations I was talking about. Nicely done there by Relizer, especially with the Shrine potentially coming up in the next 15 seconds. It's a great pick up that allows them to get positioning on top of the Shrine, so Complexity has a harder time getting into that area to start a fight.
Now Jaina has picked up the Frost armor, so that's going to help a lot with the Zeratul. You always see that pickup when you see a Jaina versus a Zeratul here. Level 7 talents being picked up on both sides, and already you see the power of Johanna at these shrines. Complexity need to get in there and take down Relics. That is the purpose of their composition. They can't take down those minions as fast, so they need to push Relics off of the shrine.
Jackson shows up, the bear starts charging forward, trying to find a position where she gets damage, and Misha, there we go, starting to get ready for a stun, get some auto attacks there on Revenant. We do have Burn in the top left corner, trying to come in behind, wants to get on top of Trumbull if possible. Start spinning to win there. Revenant, though, low on health points. Once again, Trinity there, but Jaina does get picked off. Complexity, however, have applied a decent amount of damage here and could potentially take this fight if they don't go back and hit the well. However, Revenant now starting to heal up. Here comes Rux, charging back forward, and it looks like they can get Cattle. They're trying to. They're running for him. Zaze bringing in the auto attack as well. Jax, but slow on HP. Can the multi-auto attack get it? No! We're going to have members barely pull away, but Relics actually lose out on the Punisher as Complexity tried their best to kill off all 30 minions.
Yeah, man, but they lost Malfurion there. They lost Jaina earlier on too. Jaina was trying really hard to go for the chase. The greed was a little bit real in how low Johanna was, but Johanna is a tricky one to take down.
But it's definitely worth there. I would definitely type in all chat if all chat existed. Worth there in that situation. Man, you lose 2 members, but you get the huge Punisher. It starts pushing the top lane, getting damage on top of the wall, and that allows the 3 members that just spawned to actually run down to the bottom right, grab Mercenary Camp, Revenant in trouble, using that unstoppable force to be able to get him away. But we will come down here and try and soak this up. But Complexity, a little over halfway to level 10. If they get this score, they'll be in such a prime position to start team fight soon.
It's an absolutely fantastic rotation here, but it does leave Jaximus a little bit exposed, and we talked about it before with Zeratul. This is really bad. He will go down, and Misha cannot stand without Rexar.
Good pick up there for the Relics, starting to fight back. The underdog not wanting to go out of this match without a fight. However, Complexity a couple seconds away from getting 10 with the Mercenary Camps and a little bit of soak. They will definitely get it. Relics, though, are closer than you would think. The next shrine should be up after they get level 10.
And fantastic just battleground sense here from Hans, knowing exactly where Complexity is and sending out the Sentinel just to confirm, just by knowing what that they're not on the battleground, and the fact of knowing what objectives are up. So great job there. Unfortunately, it wasn't close enough to be able to rotate and pick it up, so it's something they have to clear. Heroic abilities coming in. We do have Unleash the Boars for Rexar, as well as Starfall. Army of the Dead will be for Arthas. And then we have Ring of Frost being picked up here by Jaina. We're seeing that more and more.
Yeah, the Ring of Frost actually becomes a little bit easier to hit with Unleash the Boars, slowing down a few members. Also, it's a great disengage as well. Myrrh moving forward, as well as Renovit. And what are you cheering for? Oh, I see it.
Oh!
Yes, that's right. Leap has been picked here for the Relics. They are going out with some explosions of sound here as UA will be available for them. They need to make sure that they land that bad boy, get a couple of hits here. Johanna follows up, and you can obliterate a team if you're able to get the synergy to work out for you.
Yeah, man, the leap into the Blessed Shield. We have Void Prison to either zone or to wait until they can get the rest of the members there if Zeratul sees an opportunity. And then strafe right on top of that. You're right. And because they have to have battles around the shrine, it's the perfect opportunity for them to do it right here.
That is very true. So here we go into the middle of the map here. Oh no! A member does get picked off there immediately here. That will be the follow. So Strafe will not be available, which is a majority of the damage here for Relics. The Ring of Frost just barely misses, but the Bear does charge in, gets on top of Zaze. He's low on HP. Divine Pulse does stasis him. Though the follow-up, Ludaflare will secure the kill. Two people have been taken down. Complexity can move to the shrine and take it.
Holy moly, that Lunar Flare was dangerous
That
there.
it was.
Man, even though they have the Divine Palm and it did proc, they still were able to take out Karazim so fast. I was just going to commend Zace though, because he was able to Radiant Dash just over the Ring of Frost. I thought maybe he was safe, but no, just not quite. Trunda not letting him get away.
And I'm so proud of Han's play. Immediately after that happened, they waited about 5 to 10 seconds and scouted the mercenary camp at the top left corner with the Sentinel, just trying to always be a step ahead. Where are the Relics going to go from here? Are they going to sit and wait for the defense? Or are they going to try and sneak a mercenary camp instead? And they just knows all the information. Information is so valuable. Reliza though, coming at the point, but gonna go down. Who will it hit? Boom! Hitting two members. Argus in trouble. Bleaks in trouble as well. Cattle trying to run away, but the Strafe hits all of the health points down. Cattle trying to run away. Will barely get out of the fight, and Isha there to show up as well to help out, but God, you gotta love that combo.
The jump, Frozen, the leap on top of the Void Prison, that was awesome. Now we see the power of Relics combination. If they can just get caught back up here, they've already been able to clear out the Punisher. They protected their fort. They need to get some pressure in. They need to soak the lanes because they are going to be up behind a talent here. I'm ready to see that combo more and more, Trixler.
I gotta agree with you, and the Relics just barely behind here as Complexity's about to hit 13, but in a situation where they can totally win team fights. In terms of map control, they are behind because they have lost 1 fort in the bottom, but it's not something you cannot fight back from, right? All they gotta do is have great rotations, be at the next shrine in time, and make sure to hit that wonderful Void Prism UA combo on more than 2 to 3 members, and they can totally make things happen.
Relentless pickup here for Arthas. So trying to be able to deal with some of the crowd control that Relics do have. They are ahead and they're trying desperately to maybe pick someone up, but more importantly, they just keep their lanes clear. They know they're ahead in terms of the battleground control. Like you said, they still have all of their forts up and they want to keep it that way. So they're going to work really hard to make sure lanes are always pushing in, clearing out mercenary camps very quickly if Relics do get to pick up here.
Cattle trying to give it a potential takedown here. There's only a couple of shots of ammo actually in this fort, so he knew they have to start running forward. The 2 ammo have been extended, and they're going to go ahead and get rid of that fort. So 2 forts now down for Complexity, almost a full level ahead here in terms of experience. They're getting all the lanes pushed out as well. Everyone's preparing for this next shrine.
Void Prison is just now up. Army of the Dead almost there, immediately used, but it does not catch anybody, and that is a huge, huge win for Complexity because that's a very long cooldown.
So unfortunate. He only had a couple of minions now. Relizer in trouble. Divine Palm potentially being wasted as well. Trinity in trouble. Strafe is going to be popped, but Trinity low on HP gets picked up by the Ring of Frost in trouble's combo of Cone of Cold. Revenant in trouble as well. There goes Mafir trying to get a stun with the roots, but unfortunately not enough. 3 members only up here for Relics. Shrine activating in 10 seconds. Complexity going for a wall.
That Shrink Ray from Hans on Tyrande on Baller was so perfect. She was just about to get away from that fight, but no, it stopped her movement speed so that she was able to she hit that Ring of Frost and bam, she went down so fast.
And this will be an Arcane Punisher here for Complexity if they're able to secure it. Johanna already moving up there, but now 10 of those minions already picked up. Revenant in the middle lane. We do have Karazim doing the mid lane as well. So it looks like Relics is going to give this up. They realize, you know what, we can't run into a situation and go into a meat grinder, right? We're going to get picked off. They're 2 levels ahead. They have better positioning. Let's soak. Let's get some experience, and we'll try and defend the top fort. If we get rid of it, whatever, it's no big deal. We'll live to fight for another day.
And you know what I love too is that Complexity didn't even have everybody there. So they might have been able to actually contest, but they just weren't able to. They weren't sure where everyone was. So on top of that, Complexity were also able to pick up their Shaman here on top. So this is a very, very strong push top already. The Arcane Punisher, it is the toughest one. Relics have a ton of melee. They're having trouble dealing with these already. And on top of it, that Shaman, this is a huge push.
Wow, so actually at level 16, you see a lot of Rexars pick up Feign Death. We actually had the closing presence for Misha, by the way, which will actually slow down auto attack. It's great against Walla, great against Zeratul. Zeratul does give it every situation to do that, as well as a build here for Sonya. Sonya's gone for a major auto attack damage heavy build. Now suddenly she gets into a fight, her auto attack will be reduced for a little bit. Great pickup here by Rexar, and a bit of a small change that will definitely win you games if you can make those changes.
Absolutely. We also have entangling or tenacious roots for Malfurion too. So the fact that they're going to be able to throw those from a safe distance and be able to root if a Punisher jumps in, they know that they can throw the roots down immediately underneath that and then combo off of it.
All right, Keep has been picked up. Nice pick up for Complexity. Slowly but surely churning away and just kind of taking down the Relics very slowly in a very methodical way, if you will. The mid lane now has some pushing going in. The Complexity will go ahead and come clear it up. And the Relics looks like they want to fight. They're constantly chasing down, looking for a situation where people are grouped up. But Complexity is doing a really good job of constantly being spread out. The only ones that are ever super close together is Rexar and his companion, Misha.
Yeah, Relics do have... Oh, there it is in the lead, but Jackson gets eliminated. There goes Rexar. What I wanted to mention is that, but hold that thought, because we have a Howling Blast into entangling roots there. Iron Skin pop for Johanna. She's on the chart, so Cattle has to be very, very careful here. Lunar Flare going to be able to zone away, make sure that we have Arthas staying safe.
Good pickup there from Relics, picking off Rexar, getting them a nice amount of experience. They're that much closer to level 16, so they can fight Complexity completely to 20. Ring of Frost does go down. Mercenary Camp actually stolen here by Relics. Nice Void Prison. Will they go for the engage? Trouble actually a little bit out of position here, getting poked down, but this is a huge choke, and Arthas will hold chokes down like no other, man. He's got all that ice, he's a big body, so that fight actually would work out for Complexity, so Relics decide to go ahead and pull back. They got a Ring of Frost cooldown, they grab Mercenary Camps instead.
Yeah, you never want to engage into a choke when you know you're going to be in that Frozen Tempest, because the longer you're in that, the more, obviously, more damage you take, but also the more slowed you will be, so it's more difficult to get away if you need to back on up. Now, Relics have picked up level 16 here, so they're on an even fight for the next shrine, which is activating in just 25 seconds.
Okay, Complexity is kind of caught onto the rhythm that Relics have been trying to grab minions whenever they can before shrines. So they're going to come in here and try and interrupt. Murr in trouble. He does have Uwa, gets away. That's why it's the best heroic you're ever going to see in this game. Cattle and then will be grabbing the Mercenary Camps. Misha trying to charge down Murr, but with some jukes is able to get away. But the Mercenary Camps does go to Complexity. It will push the top lane, and they're going to run straight back to the shrines. Trouble though. However, the Singularity Spike does miss, and that means as Zeratul, you run away when you miss that W.
And I love that we have the top lane as being pushed from those mercenaries, because already Keep down there. So Complexity are forcing Relics to say, do we defend? Do we let this push all the way our lane into the core, or do we defend versus this shrine and not let Complexity pick it up? We're going to have a battle.
Relics has to fight this. They want to get a Punisher if they can. We do have Murr in trouble. Divine Palm goes up, but it's a little too early. It will get wasted. Ring of Frost is wasted as well, though, as Paul's right in the center of it, but the Punisher goes towards Complexity. Murr being chased down. Misha stuns him up at the top left corner. We also have a member rooted here as Revenant is in trouble. Gets poked off with the Hunter's Mark. Will Murr goes down as well. Rexar chase him down. Beautiful. Gets 3 kills overall here for Complexity, and they're starting to push down the middle lane with their Mortar Punisher.
I hope Rexar gives Misha a Scooby snack for that, because that was absolutely perfect. They got 3 takedowns now. Another Keep going down. They're pushing with this this Punisher. Will this be game right here? Will Complexity move on from this push?
Complexity moving towards the core. Are they going to smork it up? Rexar is here as well. The Punisher chasing down as well. Sage is forced to pull back. Relies are in trouble. The core falling down to 90%, 80%. 10 seconds till anyone spawns to defend this. A huge amount of minions here. The Punisher and all Complexity. This is going to be game. Complexity takes the series 2-0. GG!